Hello, Gray. Why are movie studios making bad movies on purpose? I swear to God they are. I'm sure most of us by now have seen clips from the new Pinocchio movie.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
And that had me pretty skeptical, honestly. You're trying to tell me they made it and they were like, the main selling point of this movie is that it will be good? No chance. And now I've recently seen people talking about this movie, Marmaduke. It's about a cartoon dog, voiced by Pete Davidson. It has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've watched it, and it is in fact the worst movie you'll see this year. And it just really seems like they're trying to make bad movies on purpose. This movie is just heinous. It feels like Netflix just like fed an AI a bunch of scripts of bad movies until it spat out Marmaduke. This movie is not good at all. I think it has 0 redeeming qualities, actually. There's nothing good in this movie. I would even give it a negative score if I could. I like that I said that as if there's something stopping me. I'm my own entity. I'm not limited. I don't have a boss telling me I have to give it a positive score. I'm gonna give it a -6 out of 10.
Once upon a time, there lived a very large and very sad doggy. His family got mad at him just for being himself.
We begin with a narration from Pete Davidson himself, who could not sound less interested in explaining the exposition of this movie. Marmaduke was some fucking dog. Dude, I don't care. I'm dating a Kardashian, man. You think I need this? I personally don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He was not up to the task of being the main character in this movie. This is a cartoon dog. You need someone with like a crazy range. Pete Davidson's emotions range from high and please down to high and indifferent. That's about all the variety you're gonna get out of Pete Davidson. After watching the movie all the way through, I'm not even 100% sure that Pete Davidson even knows he's in this movie. I haven't seen Pete Davidson do any promotion for this movie. I don't think he's done interviews talking about, you know, getting into the role of Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they just like took audio excerpts of Pete Davidson from like other TV shows and just like found a way to make a movie about a dog around them.
You can't ban me from Billy's party. It won't be a party without me.
Gather round, boys and girls, and watch this.
Go ahead and look at the characters in this first scene here and tell me, what is your reaction? Art is subjective. What you like depends entirely on your life experience, your personal taste, you know, where you were born and raised. For example, I was born in the 1990s on Earth, and I hate every single one of these characters. There are 3 body shapes in the universe of Marmaduke. There is eerily slender, bouncing egg. That's right, they don't walk. The round characters, they just kind of bounce from place to place. And then there's Mom. Mom has a serious case of the Pixar mom syndrome. I guess the creators of Marmaduke decided to take a page out of Pixar's book when designing the mom, and then they ignored all the other pages in the book about like how to make a movie. Anyway, through a little bit of narration, we find out that the reason Marmaduke is not allowed at this party is because he's basically a terror to the family. Marmaduke is a nightmare. He chases the cat, he tackles the local butcher for some bones, he beats the shit out of the dad. This dog is terrorizing his family. This is a bad boy.
Don't you think you're being too hard on poor Marmaduke?
He's gone too far, Dottie. Maybe we need to enroll Marmaduke in obedience.
As if this family wasn't going through enough already, dude. Look at the dad's nose. Look at his nose to arm ratio. He doesn't need this right now. He's got bigger fish to fry. His nose is about 3 times thicker than his arms. What the hell? Compare that to Marmaduke. And the shot where he's just beat the shit out of the dad for his comfy chair. He's jacked. He looks like a kangaroo. They're living with a wild animal in their house, and this dad's arms are made out of wet spaghetti. And Marmaduke has the audacity to be upstairs in the window like, come on, let me into the party. What is it, cause I like steak a little bit too much? And it's like, no, dude, you keep beating up my family. You killed our youngest daughter. But Marmaduke's not trapped upstairs for long. He decides to start chasing a bee around the room that he's trapped in, and the bee goes through the window, and then Marmaduke like crashes through the window, and he lands in the pool, which causes like a mini tsunami in the backyard.
Who wants a hot diggity dang that dog?
You know this dog is bad when the dad turns around and just sees a tidal wave coming towards him and he says, dang that dog. As far as he knows, the dog is upstairs in the room. He didn't see Marmaduke fly in the pool, he just turned around. This man saw a tidal wave and was like, the fucking dog! This family has suffered so much at the hands of this dog. paws of this dog, that the dad could see like an overseas power plant collapse and then explode and be like, I know Marmaduke has something to do with this shit. Anyway, this guy is Guy. His name is Guy. He is Drew Gooden's biggest fan, and he is a dog trainer. The pool flop incident sort of goes viral, ends up on TV and everything, and Guy, being like a world famous dog trainer, sees Marmaduke, this poorly behaved monster, and decides, hey, this would be kind of an interesting challenge for me to transform Marmaduke into like a good boy. At first I thought this guy was gonna be the villain of the movie because he's like rich and British, and I think that it's the law in cartoons that the bad guy has to be rich and British, but this guy is actually, he's not that bad. He's a little greedy, but he's not the bad guy. So Guy goes over to Marmaduke's house and talks to the owners and is like, hey, if you let me train your dog and enter him into like dog competitions, we could win $1 million, and I'll share the $1 million with you, which is actually a very nice thing for a rich British man to do in a cartoon. The family says yes, so Marmaduke gets to train with this experienced, highly awarded, rich and famous dog trainer. And they start training right away. Or actually, sorry, Marmaduke doesn't want to train at all, so the trainer starts beating the shit out of Marmaduke.
If you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna have to unleash thunder, lightning, as you wish.
Yeah, that's right, they're about to fight. Marmaduke doesn't want to train, so they start like backing up and putting their deuces up. When this part happened, I was like, this is crazy. This human's not actually about to start punching a dog, right? And luckily, I was right. He kicks the dog. Dude, he kicks the dog, throws him into a tree. You're like the most famous dog trainer in the world, and this is your secret method. Dog training tips your trainer doesn't want you to know. Beat the shit out of your dog.
That's enough for today.
That's enough for today? You didn't do anything. You just hurt a dog. You didn't teach him any tricks. He doesn't even know how to sit. All right, the first trick we're gonna learn today is how to dodge a punch. Okay, it looks like you didn't get it today, but we'll try again tomorrow, okay, buddy? Anyway, I guess after showing Marmaduke how violent he is and all of his like cool martial arts skills, Marmaduke is like, wait, actually maybe I do want to get trained by this guy. And they make it seem like it's because like Marmaduke is so impressed. I personally think it's because Marmaduke is so scared. He does agree to finally be trained. So cue Marmaduke getting trained montage. Or sorry, Marmaduke getting tortured montage. Yeah, that's right. Before Marmaduke agreed to get trained, Guy just beat the shit out of Marmaduke. But now that Marmaduke has agreed to be trained, he is still getting beat up, but just in new and fancy ways. This movie is essentially about a dog who loves to eat and suffers greatly for it. You know what is one thing that's unclear about this movie? Can Marmaduke talk? Earlier in the movie, Marmaduke was trying to talk to the people and all they could hear was barking sounds.
I think you're being too hard on poor
But then Marmaduke and Guy seem to have full conversations. So who is speaking the other one's language? Is Marmaduke speaking English? Or is the trainer barking at Marmaduke? Like if you were to walk by the park where Guy is training Marmaduke, is Guy just going like, arr, arr, arr? This movie is completely uninterested in answering this question. After Marmaduke has been thoroughly beaten and humiliated by Guy for a week or two, it is time for Marmaduke to enter his first dog show. This is where we meet Marmaduke's main competition and basically the villain of the movie, this beautiful dog Zeus.
He shimmers like gold.
It makes me very uncomfortable how like aroused the humans are by this beautiful dog. There's a shot of the mom where she just goes, oh. It's like, holy shit, calm down, dude. It's a pretty dog and that's that. Actually, not even a pretty dog. I don't really even like the way that dog looks. So Zeus is like a bad, evil dog. And while Guy is out of the room, right before the dog show starts, Zeus convinces Marmaduke to eat like all of the food at the banquet that's supposed to be for the banquet after the dog show. And this part is very disturbing. Oh, Marmaduke, you idiot! How are you gonna perform, dude? How are you gonna compete? You can't even walk. This is where the movie gets gross. The sound effects of his like gurgling belly make me want to throw up. Then he somehow becomes skinny by farting once. I guess he farts out all the food in one foul fart. And when I say foul fart, that shit does look foul. When he did that, I was like, wait, holy shit, he can do that? Marmaduke has the ability to fart out food that he just ate, like all of it. But then it's even more confusing because he gets onto the floor at the dog show and all of a sudden like plumps back up again and starts farting some more. And it's like, so where did the food go? Did the gas enter him again and become food again? Was he actually just sucking in? What is happening? Did he fart the food out or not?
What are you doing? I gotta go.
What the fuck is going on? This is so gross.
That's it. I'm never smelling a dog's rear end again.
Me too, brother.
Gotta go, Marmaduke.
Then it only gets worse. Marmaduke flies through the air, lands on the trophy for the dog competition, and he farts, and he shits, and he farts so hard that I thought he might be dying. He gets onto the trophy and like goes from plump to shriveled up like a raisin. He shrivels up into a little doggy skeleton. The dog is very sick. The dog should be rushed to the hospital immediately after this, actually. The cloud of his fart gas like envelops the entire crowd. People are screaming. I think he might have killed people, honestly. This is just an awful scene. I don't know why the writers thought that this would be fun. For anyone, even for kids, it's like, is your dog pooping in the wrong spot ever that funny? I don't think I've ever like come home and my dog is like pooped somewhere she wasn't supposed to and been like, that's hilarious. That's actually good one, Sunday. Dude, you fucking killed it. I should be mad, but that's actually mad funny. To be fair, if I did have like a comically big trophy in my house and I came home and the dog had pooped in the trophy, that actually might be kind of funny. But not if she was also like sitting on top of the trophy as like a shriveled up skeleton and my house was full of noxious gas.
That was a disgrace. Congratulations, Phil. You've discovered a new breed of dog. The Not-So-Great Dane.
Not So Great Dane is actually a pretty light roast considering Marmaduke just like detonated a chemical weapon at a dog show. You sent 30 people to the hospital, Marmaduke. At least call him a Shih Tzu or a Fartsu.
Hey, guys. Watch out. It's El Stinko.
At first when I watched this, I was like, oh really? The cheerleaders at the local middle school were following like the dog competition news over the weekend? Dog shows are that popular, really? They just happen to be watching? But then I realized, no, this was probably on the news. If this happened in real life, it would be on the news.
She shares a home with Scooby-Poo.
Yeah, did you see the pile of dead birds? It's actually not that funny. That area is permanently off limits to all life. Anyway, Marmaduke has pretty much brought disgrace to the family.
Our dog's a loser. He's not a loser.
This movie's getting kind of dark. This is a really somber, like, middle section of a children's movie. He's not a loser! It just turns into Marriage Story. Marmaduke is a Great Dane! Then come to find out that the trainer has actually billed them for all of the training, and it's like a shit ton of money. They go through the list, and it rolls by in this like Star Wars style credit roll, and it's meant to fly by really fast so you can't read anything, but I paused it just to like look through what some of it is. Some of the items on this list are more than the $1 million they would have won at the final dog show. There's things for $29,000, $35,000, $1.4 million. Also kind of a funny detail, the writers I guess couldn't come up with enough things to actually make the list that long, so they just literally copied and pasted the same chunk over and over. So if you just play it, you'll see like the same thing worth $1.5 million over and over in this list, and it's like you couldn't just keep coming up with different numbers at least?
We're all losers.
It's all my fault.
God, what immense emotional and financial pressure to put on a dog in a movie. You stupid fucking dog! Our family is in shambles because of you! We're poor now, and it's your fault! I'm gonna make the trainer teach you the concept of money, just so we can also teach you that it's your fault we don't have any. You not so great Dane. As Marmaduke sort of loses his mind and bursts out the door into the rain and starts running down the street, you may ask yourself, is this fun? Is this like a fun movie for kids? An innocent dog reaching the end of his rope, desperate, physically and emotionally beaten to the brink of insanity. Is this fun? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think any kids have watched this movie. I think 0 children have watched this movie. I had to like scroll to find it on Netflix. They were not highlighting this movie.
Believe in yourself. Believe I'm a champion? Yep. Come on, let's go home.
Marmaduke shows up at Guy's house and is like, will you train me again, please? I messed up. And Guy is like, no, you are not a champion. So Marmaduke is like, you know what? Screw it. I don't need you. And he decides to set off on a journey to show him what a real champion can do. He runs to China, and then he runs to Egypt, and then he swims in the ocean, and then he goes home. And I guess that's pretty much all the training he needs. I don't know why he is still so focused on the dog show after that. Marmaduke's like, yeah, I climbed to the top of Mount Everest and then swam to the bottom of the ocean so that I could hopefully compete in an obedience competition at a regional level. I hope that I do okay. It's like, no, all of the things you did just then are like infinitely more impressive than a dog show. At least that's what I thought until we get to the dog show and we see what other dogs do during the talent portion. Okay, so the bulldog is winning the talent competition. The bulldog is winning the whole show. Forget about the other dogs for a second. There is no way that Marmaduke can do anything near that impressive. I know he ran around the world, but he just ran and swam. This dog lifted up a convention center. The other dog's not quite as impressive. One of the dogs dances, pretty lame. And another dog did like a half fight, half rap in like a magical bubble environment. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know there was magic in this universe. They just decided to spring that on us in the last like 20 minutes of the movie, but I just don't understand how they were able to continue the competition after the bulldog lifted up the building. If I was in the crowd, I would be on my hands and knees crying after that. I don't think that it's fair to continue the show.
Look deeply into the golden fleece of my Zeus.
Okay, Zeus actually hypnotizes the crowd. That's actually pretty impressive. Yet another use of magic. I like that they're really doubling down on that in the third act of this movie. Also, I'm getting a lot of parallels from the Disney Channel original movie Zapped in this movie. Although I don't think anyone beat the shit out of a dog in that movie. Also, hang on a second. If hypnosis exists in this universe and it is like a thing that can be done effectively, why the hell did the trainer need to beat the fuck out of Marmaduke? If in this world it's possible to mentally make a dog do whatever you want, what sick thrill did Guy get out of assaulting Marmaduke? It's almost like that wasn't even training, and he just, like, what if he did hypnotize him and then he was like, and now the rest of this is just for me. Anyway, it's time for Marmaduke's portion of the talent show. Now, everything else up until this point is so insane that, like, anything Marmaduke could do, even if he did something really cool, would be kind of underwhelming. But, like, even with that in mind, Marmaduke just does the dumbest shit. His boy owner gets on his back and they just, like, run around the stadium. I'm sorry, Marmaduke, but that was not impressive at all. We literally all just saw magic happen. We saw a bulldog lift up a building. I know I keep mentioning that, but that was insane. We all just saw an entire crowd get hypnotized by a creepy blonde dog, and Marmaduke's like, yeah, but can you do this? Are you trying to bankrupt your family, Marmaduke? Because that's what's gonna happen if you keep this shit up. Are you trying to destroy your family's lives? You're going to. Keep dicking around on the ground like that with no talent, and you're gonna destroy their lives. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Okay, a little plot twist happens at the end of the dog show. Zeus, the beautiful dog, wins. Obviously, he hypnotized the judges, so we kind of thought that was gonna happen anyway, but it turns out that one of the judges is actually Zeus's trainer in disguise, so he gets disqualified from the talent competition. I kind of feel like it was pretty dumb of him to do that because he had a shot at winning anyway. It's not like he was like a total underdog. Dude was basically an overdog. He was actually bound to win. He hypnotized everybody.
That trophy's mine. I'm supposed to be champion!
Zeus gets all pissed off and charges Marmaduke, and Marmaduke dodges it, but Zeus hits like a camera crane and it falls over on Marmaduke.
Marmaduke!
Uh-oh. That's actually a really funny thing for a cartoon dog to say right before he fucking dies. Uh-oh. And then he actually dies.
Marmaduke, buddy, talk to me.
Is Marmaduke gonna die?
Please, boy, be okay.
Is Marmaduke dead?
Marmaduke was a good dog.
What the fuck, dude?
We will miss you
very much.
Okay, they're spending way too long on this if he's not actually dead. He should have come back alive by now, probably.
Is there still time to hit the awards banquet?
Jesus Christ, dude. You have to admit, if he did die, that would be objectively the funniest ending to this movie. Marmaduke doesn't win the dog show, and then he dies. And then everyone's really sad, and then the movie ends. In my head, when this was happening, the first time I watched this, I was like, please roll credits, please roll credits. It would be so fucking funny if Marmaduke dies. Oh, fuck, he's alive. Anyways, if this movie couldn't get any worse, it ends with an original song by Pete Davidson about being a dog.
I'm the biggest dog around, the greatest Dane in the whole darn town. But my family doesn't understand. I gotta eat, it's my command.
Did they give Pete Davidson 40 seconds to write this song? All right, Pete, it's time to record the ending song. What ending song? You guys didn't tell me there was gonna be an ending song. I don't know, man, you tell us. Hit it. All right, well, yeah, that's Marmaduke. Let me know what you thought, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor. Hello. Guys, did you know in the US it's legal for your internet service provider to sell your data to other companies? They can sell it to ad companies. Heck, they can sell it to whoever they want. This seems pretty screwed up to me. I don't know why this is legal, but what I do know is that Marmaduke is probably responsible. Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, puts a stop to this by rerouting 100% of your network traffic through their secure encrypted servers. Those are servers that are both secure and encrypted. ExpressVPN also masks your device's unique IP address, making it much more difficult for like big tech companies or advertisers or really strong dogs from tracking you and matching your activity back to you so they can collect your data. There's a ton of great reasons to use ExpressVPN. You can unblock content that's not available in your country. For example, the movie Whiplash is not available on Netflix in the US, but with ExpressVPN, if you change your server location to the UK, it is available. They have 24/7 customer support, the fastest speeds, consistently faster than other VPNs, and it's easy to use. You can fire it up and get going with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on my computer and my phone, pretty much every device that can have it in my house. So find out how you can get 3 months for free by visiting expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out our sponsor. Please get out from under my desk. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Is that in focus at all? Greg, join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube, my fan base, my audience. But we're more than that, you know? We're a family, we're an army. We are one guy named Greg. So if you wanna join, then turn on my notifications and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.